Harry, did I ever tell you about the time I accidentally hired a homicidal maniac as a defense against the dark arts professor? Oh, right, that happened while you were here. Whoopsie. Anyways, I found the tape I recorded when I interviewed him and wanted to share it with you for some bizarre reason. Roll the footage. Come in and take a seat. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Professor Quiznos. Sorry, Queer Eye. What do you mean quarrel? Like squirrel without the S? Well, good luck getting the kids to say that. Anyways, quick question. Have you heard of the board game Clue, by the way? You struck me as a Professor Plum type. He was always my favorite, so you're off to a good start. Let's look at your resume, shall we? You come to us highly recommended from the, and I quote, Totally Real Dark Arts Academy of South London with a personal handwritten letter from their own headmaster, Professor Moldivord. While I've never, not a once heard of that educational institute, nor recall every meeting that fellow educator at any of the ministry teaching functions, that just goes to show me there's more to this world than just Hogwarts and her ghosts. I would read your letter of recommendation, but it looks like it was written in reverse, almost as if your head was on backwards and you were writing it in a mirror of sorts. I don't know what type of medical malaffliction that is, but where can I donate to find a cure? Anyways, before we proceed any further, I got to ask about the turban. I know it's technically not legal to ask this in a job interview, but is it like a religious thing, cultural? You lose a bet? Oh, no, I don't have an issue with it. I just see a turban and expect someone, well, a few shades more sun-kissed than your pasty self. Or is it like one of those Hulk Hogan, Bret Michaels type of deal where you're smooth as a goblin's bottom under there? Listen, being bald is nothing to be ashamed of anymore. Take it from me, a man with long flowing hair. Could you imagine if you had, like a little evil wizard guy, secretly hiding under there? But I'm sure that's how most people who are ashamed of their baldness feel, like they're hiding a little evil secret under their hat, or in your case, a turban. Either way, it's no problem. I just wanted to warn you, we do teach in a castle, and lovely as she is, we do have a bat of a bit problem. Merlin's beard. I mean a bit of a bat problem. My apologies, Professor. Sometimes I get a bat tongue-tied. My point is, don't be surprised if you find a bat or two trying to make a nest in that there turban. I've had my fair share of bat nests in my beard over the years. Once a month, I'll drape my beard over the kitchen countertop and just whack it with a rolling pin or golf club to shake out any creepy crawlies that have tried to make their home in it. One time, a Hufflepuff student was found that way. He had been missing for a week. He thought he was just stuck in a spider's web, but no. It was my beard. He lived off of crumbs and soup dribbles. Anyways, let's keep going. Under hobbies, you wrote philosophers. And under interests, you wrote stones. Oh, wow. And the where do you see yourself in 5 years, you wrote with philosopher's stone. That's deeply concerning. I didn't know you had such an interest in geology. Hogwarts could use someone like you. I mean, we've got beast tamers, fortune tellers, heck, even a goblin professor. Oh no, it's not a professor who teaches about goblins, but a literal goblin professor. He's about 3 foot tall. You can't miss him, actually. You absolutely can miss him on account of being as tall as a toddler. Where was I? Now, I had you answer some hypotheticals, so let's go over that. I asked, what do you look for in a good student? And you wrote, blood purity. Such a simple answer, but it means so much. Now, I'm sure you mean it in a figurative sense, as in pure of heart. And I completely agree. So many educators put so much weight on grades, they forget that inside every student is not only a brain, but a heart. So I agree, blood purity is important. In fact, we've got a little rascal enrolling this year who might have the purest heart of all. Now, the next question I asked. 2 students are fighting in the courtyard. How do you intervene? And you wrote, the strong shall kill the weak. Yikes. I don't know rough it was down in South London, but here we at Hogwarts, with the exception of Quidditch, the Triwizard Cup, detention in the Forbidden Forest, the entirety of Slytherin House, Whomping Willow, and the shifting staircases, we try to keep the bloodshed to a minimum around here. 1 kid loses an arm, no one bits an eye. But 3 or more, and you've got parents pulling their kids out. And that's funding, Professor Q, that's funding. Last question. I asked, explain a time you showed leadership qualities. And you wrote a long-winded response about assembling and managing a group of delinquents called the Death Eaters. Is this like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing? Or a metal band you formed in your garage? Either way, I didn't read the whole thing, but I get the gist. Well, I have to say, Professor Queer Eye, you've won me over. I had my suspicions when you sauntered in here all purple and mysterious like some sort of homosexual eggplant. But you've really opened my eyes as someone I can trust wholeheartedly with the education of children. I won't lie. We've had a bit of a tricky run with this defense against the dark arts position. Bat of a revolving door, if you will. But I've got a good feeling about you, so let me welcome you aboard. We can iron out the details later, like compensation, vacation time. I'll give you a heads up. Neither one is a lot. Anyways, it's going to be a good semester, Professor Quinoa.